No, that's too hard for me. Sorry. I was thinking.
Rondo, number 5.
Sure.
Probably know the Rush is too hazy.
I'll do a pizzicato. So number 6.
Huh?
Number 6.
I think it's a really interesting. I'm also
Oh, that's right.
What do I do on air?
Could we do one in between? Because, yeah.
Okay.
I think I want to do that one for sure.
Okay.
There's also moving on to like 12, 13, and 14.
Yeah, that little
without touching 15.
water music suite.
We could do all of that
Sure.
in a row, right?
Okay. If you could help us, I was
So this is number 12
Yeah.
with all the repeats.
Go back to
Book 2.
air or I don't
It's
know.
ask Julia, do you have the wind to do the air? Rest for a second. You keep going like that.
5.
Number 5.
Oh Lord, I think that's too long.
Number 3, is that it?
Okay.
What number is that?
I'm watching. I think we get it right here. Get her snapping photos. I think we should wait for a second.
Yeah, but they're closing the door.
Oh my god.
Okay, they're lining up.
You see that on the left? The red and white.
On the right? Why is this happening now? Why is this happening now? Ready?
Did she cue us? Did she cue us?
Yeah.
Huh?
You may be seated. Good morning, and welcome to all of our guests who have joined us today. We have chosen this beautiful historic venue as continued evidence that our school, the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine, is tightly woven into the fabric of our community. Here we will celebrate today the commencement ceremony of Tech Carilion School of Medicine, honoring our second graduating class, the class of 2015. Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine Board of Directors, faculty, staff, and students, friends and families of our students, and every other special guest here today, because every one of you is special. Every person here has been invited because you have contributed something to make this day possible. Perhaps you were involved with the initial between Virginia Tech and Carilion as these two prestigious organizations and their leaders came together as a public-private partnership to create our school. Or maybe your influence prompted the Virginia General Assembly to support legislation to fund our $59 million building, which is the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine and Research Institute, our co-located medical school and research institute, each flourishing with the success of the other and distinguishing us among all other new medical schools. You might have even contributed to the design, construction, or outfitting of our beautiful purpose-built edifice. Many of you are faculty, other healthcare professionals, and our patients, all of whom have contributed to the education of our students. Because of you, these students, soon-to-be medical residents, are prepared for the next step in their journey and are on track to be the kind of physician you would choose for yourself or your family, the kind you will want to call my doctor. You might be citizens of our wonderful, welcoming Roanoke community. Whether you have interacted with us within the walls of our school or we with you in the activities of your daily lives, we are your medical school. And finally, the largest group in attendance today, the guests of our graduates. Each one of you has affected the life of one of these students in a way that has resulted in their presence on this stage today. So students, before we continue with our program, I would ask you to stand and join me in thanking everyone here who has made this day possible. Thank you. Now to begin our formal program, I am pleased to introduce Mr. Ben Davenport, who is chair of the Board of Directors of our school. He has been a strong advocate and lifelong supporter of Virginia Tech and this region of the Commonwealth. Last year was the golden anniversary of his own graduation from Virginia Tech in 1964 with a bachelor's degree in business administration. He has a long history of engagement in the university community, including membership on the Virginia Tech Board of Visitors for 2 terms, including 2 years as rector, and additional service on the Virginia Tech Foundation Board. In spring 2013, he received the Alumni Distinguished Service Award in recognition of his outstanding service to the university and the Alumni Association. In the corporate world, Ben is chairman of First Piedmont Corporation, a regional waste management company, as well as Davenport Energy, a supplier of petroleum products in Southern Virginia. He was a founding member of the Mid-Atlantic Broadband Communities, which has built a 1,500-mile network of fiber in 26 counties and cities in Southern Virginia. Welcome, Mr. Davenport.
Thank you, Dean, for the warm welcome and to this momentous occasion. There have been so many changes in Southwest Virginia since I graduated from Virginia Tech, and today marks yet another chapter in its evolution. Now as an academic medical center formed as a public-private partnership between 2 great institutions, Virginia Tech and Carilion. As chair of the board of directors, I speak for each of them when I share that it is our honor and privilege to look out at you today as we confer the second degrees from the school. You know, as a side note, I know many of you have come from afar, but I'd like for you to understand that this whole medical school is transforming the region. This has been a sleepy little railroad town that has really kind of moved along. But if you can only think and imagine what's happened with all of this group of students being part of the population, with the faculty and staff being a part of the community, I'd be interested to know how many volunteer programs and organizations they participate in. But the intelligence and it's just creating an enormous sea change for this region, and for that we'll always be forever grateful. And Roanoke will never be the same again. So it's just great. So at this point, I'd like to recognize the representatives of the founding and current board members present today. I'd ask for them to stand and to be recognized for your efforts on behalf of the faculty, staff, students, and the patients that they care for. So if you would rise, any of you that are here, and to be recognized. Over the last 5 years, representatives have included President Tim Sands, President Charles Stigger, Debbie Petrine, Rector, Mike Quillen, immediate past Rector, George Nolan, past Rector, Dr. Mark McNamee, founding chair, Dr. Gerhard Schrog. The Carilion Clinic representatives have included Nancy Agee, Warner Dalhouse, Dr. Mark Werner, Jay Turner, Dr. Ralph Whitley. And independent members have included Jim Smith as immediate past chair, Dr. Sid Smith as our vice chair, Dr. Ed Murphy, Carmen Hooker Odom, and Nick Conte. And the members from the faculty and students that have been represented are Dr. Bert Spitzler, Lindsay DeGeorge, our graduating faculty, graduating student, Matthew Joy, past student, recent elected student. So again, for your dedication, your vision, your leadership, and guidance, this is truly a great milestone for all of us today, and very grateful. Thank you.
Again, I would like the rest of the audience to see the Board of Directors. So those representatives, please stand. Thank you. Every graduating class from every school is special, but you, our second class, will always have an honored place in our history. I remind you what I said to you on August 2011, your first day of orientation as medical students at the Virginia Tech Carilion School. I quote myself. So, what does it mean to be our second class? Certainly it means you'll never be our charter class. However, there's real value in that for you. The charter class has carved a path for you that has turned our ideas into reality. Every day was new. Every lecture, every case, every test question. Now these have all been vetted and refreshed in order to be shared with you, our second class. We believe your first year curriculum will be an improved product, but not a product. We need your engagement and your entrepreneurism to continue to make VTC-SOM the best that it can be. Today, nearly 4 years later, I can attest to the fact that this class has met and exceeded our expectation. Their student perspective and active participation in developing and refining our cutting-edge curriculum, not only in year one, but throughout the 4 years, has put VTC-SOM on the map as a premier medical school for the 21st century. These students have been key contributors building the culture, both within the walls of our building and within the community, that defines our School of Medicine. You are going to get a glimpse into the character of the class of 2015 from our student speakers. The students have selected 2 members of their class to address you this morning. Ms. Sang-Hee Soo will speak first, followed by Mr. Jishan Faridi. Sang-Hee?
Thank you, Dean Johnson. Members of the faculty, family, friends, and the graduating class of 2015, thank you for giving me the honor of speaking to you today. Okay. 1,377 days have passed since our first day at VTC. In that span of time, we have integrated into a strange world of bad anatomy jokes, rectal exams, and a colorful variety of bodily fluids. None of us knew what we were getting into, and now that it's too late, we stand here about to. We are smiling, but terrified on the inside, which, strangely enough, was how we started off. As the second graduating class of VTC, we are not only very, very good looking, but we are a talented group of triathloners, marathon runners, soccer basketball players, musicians, cooks, and of course, parents. I'm proud to say that 65% of us here will be the first in the family to become a physician. I think we should clap to that. The first thank you goes to our class, because the most vivid and touching moments of medical school have been created by the people sitting behind me. To be honest, I did not initially like Roanoke. As a girl from the Northeast, I did not understand Southern drawls, country music, or politeness. I lived in the drug-dealing part of town, where the local playground attracted everyone but kids. I had no car, just a bike, and a poncho and goggles for rainy days. Once my classmates realized the homeless person riding around in a garbage bag was their fellow student, they offered me rides throughout the year. Because of this generous spirit of our class, I have never felt alone, and the relationships I have developed here are so close that they are borderline uncomfortable. Looking back, I'm grateful to say I did not get into medical school the first time, so that I can be here with this incredible group of people. Secondly, thank you to the families who support us. They have worked with us longer than the 4 years to help us get to where we are today. As a child, we may have told our parents our dreams of becoming a doctor, or in my case, telling them your dreams of becoming a writer and then being told it is pronounced doctor. Whatever our journey may be, behind each future physician here, there is a tribe of mothers, fathers, grandparents, sisters, and brothers who have guided us along the way. We still can't cure your lower back pain, but thank you for sharing our struggles and our joys. Lastly, thank you for the faculty who have invested in our education while modeling integrity and compassion. Sometimes we forget our reasons for entering medicine. For instance, there was a time when I thought success was having a mansion on a hill with a chocolate fountain. But I decided to become a pediatrician. So at best, I'll have a fondue set. But to be honest, success has been redefined for me because of the physicians who still find joy in their work. They remind us to strive for impact, not attention, have pride in our work with an equal amount of humility, and to seek integrity instead of external praise. Thank you for showing us the type of we all hope to be. As our white coats grow a little longer today, let us remember the past 1,377 days. In the past year, I took care of an elderly woman battling metastatic lung cancer. Before she passed, she had some wise words that I would like to share today. She said, "Be grateful for the people around you, for the days you are given, and for the special moments that remind you that every day is another opportunity for joy." You, as future doctors, uphold a sense of beauty for treating people in their most vulnerable moments. I hope you treat cynicism as an intellectual's cripple for intelligence, and know that in the end, you are treating someone's mother, father, sister, and brother. These words left an impact on me, and I hope to carry them forward. As our generation moves towards personalized medicine, I hope we keep medicine on the personal level. Thank you to my class for a wonderful 4 years. Thank you to the families who have supported us. I love you, Omanapa. Thank you to VTC for bringing us together. I still have no idea what physician thought leader means, but I do know we will do amazing things in the years to come. Congratulations, class of 2015, we made it. Next, I would like to introduce Jishan, another classmate of mine.
Thank you very much. Good morning. So Dean Johnson and Dr. Knight, don't freak out a little bit, but I'm going to. All right. So for this next part, I'm going to need some audience participation. So I have my graduation speech, which I prepared, which is 5 minutes long, and it's really good. I wrote it myself. Or I can sing to you Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. So on 3, I'm going to need you to say either speech or song, and whatever you say, I will do. Okay? All right, on 3, speech, classmates, you included. 1, 2, 3. That was pretty clear. All right, speech it is. All right. All right, firstly, sorry, I didn't want to mess up my hair. Firstly, thank you to my parents for you guys, and I hope I've made you proud. Thank you to the faculty and administration for all you've done to get us to this point. I remember as a first year after our first anatomy exam, we almost didn't make it. You guys probably should have pulled the plug on us at that time. But we're here now, so we have a great match list, so it's too late. So let's keep on going, I guess, right? Thank you to my classmates for giving me the opportunity to speak on your behalf. But I guess it's only appropriate that such a physically attractive, Stangi, thank you for already saying this, and intellectually gifted group of individuals should choose me to speak for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But all hubris and honesty aside, getting to... Some people got it. All right, good. Getting to today has been a huge accomplishment for all of us. We've worked hard and sacrificed a lot. Some of us appear visibly older. Less hair, wrinkles, bags under our eyes. In fact, 2 of our classmates, Alex Weller and Dave Riley, started medical school with luxurious golden locks upon their heads. Went down all the way to their shoulders. Beautiful. But if you've seen them recently, that statement has all the credibility of a claim by Dr. Oz. So, but maybe it wasn't the stresses of medical school that led to the hair loss. Maybe I did read online somewhere that male pattern baldness is caused by vaccines. I'm thinking we should probably hold off on vaccines until we know more. Am I right, Dr. Schmidt-Dalton? Dr. Friedlander, I think we should get the research institute involved on this. We'll talk about it later. We've also sacrificed financially. I mean, we are really poor, guys. Many in our class tried to make a little cash on the side, the medical students, riding on ambulances, or doing whatever else. Personally, I spent way too much time inside an fMRI getting my head studied to make some money. Something in my brain must have gotten scrambled after all that, because for months, and many of you know this, I couldn't decide between a career in orthopedic surgery and psychiatry. Pretty different things. So some people tried to earn extra money on the side. Other people tried to stretch the dollar they did have as long as it could go. 2.4 miles in one instance. Another one of our classmates, Karen Bowers, ran a marathon overnight, only to repeat the entire marathon. Some people thought that, maybe she just, a little whatever, likes to do that type of thing. But actually, she just dropped 50 cents on the course, had to retrace her steps to find those 50 cents. Members of our class engaged in some other really questionable behavior. A lot of our class thought it was a good time, after falling hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt to get engaged, get married, or have children. What were you guys thinking? But congratulations. I mean, you were able to move on with life even during medical school, and that's a huge accomplishment. That's awesome. So I want to take the next few moments just to give some advice to my classmates. I promise it'll be quick. When we get really busy in our clinics and our future professions, it's easy to forget about ourselves. We get so engrossed in what's going on with our patients, what's going on with whatever, that we forget about ourselves. So just, this advice comes from Dr. Milam, so it's mentally sound and not a result of all the tests on my head. But, take time every day to reflect on the day. Take time to reflect on your choices, its effect on others, and ultimately on yourselves. We need to take care of ourselves as much as we take care of our patients. Page flip. All right. So as I end my speech, I want to thank to all the friends who are here and even those who are not here. Hi, Nasimati. Hi, Nanyami. Today is as much a celebration of everything you've done to get us where we are today as much as it is about what we do. Thank you. One last anecdote before I finish. When I first moved into my house here in Roanoke, my roommate Robbie's mom left a note on the refrigerator. It said, "Call your mom." That's all it said, "Call your mom." That's probably the best advice anybody could give you. When things get hectic, things get crazy, you can rely on your mom. Give her a call. She'll know what to say, if not what to do. She'll know even when things are going well, call your mom just to say hello and, check in on how she's doing. She thinks about you. All right, let's see. I've name dropped some faculty, shared anecdotes about our class, and pandered to a room full of moms the day before Mother's Day. That's a successful speech, guys. Thank you.
I have no comment. Now I'm speechless. But thank you. Every class in medical school needs students to represent their class interests. George has maintained most of her time here at VTC SOM. Lindsay, please come forward to introduce our faculty speaker.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's faculty speaker, Dr. Thomas Kirkering. Dr. Kirkering graduated from Virginia Commonwealth School of Medicine, where he subsequently stayed to train in internal medicine and infectious disease. After a number of years at VCU and then ECU, he came to Carilion in 2009. This past year, Dr. Kirkering worked in Sierra Leone taking care of Ebola patients and training healthcare providers. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Kirkering.
Those are hard acts to follow. I don't know that I can do that. So graduating students, your families, distinguished guests, deans, and fellow faculty, good morning. In preparation, I turned to the speeches of the great orators. Let us begin. 14 years ago, our founders began a new school based on a scarcely tested. You are now the second graduating class of an established and excellent medical school. Congratulations. When I asked what might be the theme of this address, the answer was to exhort you to become physician thought leaders. Apparently, because of my roles in the fungal meningitis outbreak and the Ebola crisis, I'm considered to be a physician thought leader. Be aware that most people just think I'm plain nuts and have a death wish. The thought leaders would be those who conceived of our and those who brought it to a reality, and that includes you as the second class. There are pillars that support the basis of being a physician thought leader. My 40 years in academic medicine has been a fabulous journey. I would gladly do it all over again. In reflecting on this journey, I appreciated the first pillar of becoming a leader. It is enjoying what you do. Quite simply, it is that. Otherwise, happiness will not be forthcoming. Each of us has our own niche, and you will know yours when you recognize that it is not a paycheck that is compelling your interest. Mine happens to be the dance of microbes in humans. Besides joy in what you do, another pillar is to question. Always question. Not in any mean-spirited way, but in a form of honest inquiry and curiosity. How do we know if this is true or false? Why do we do things this way or not that way? What happens if we tweak it like this or that? Inquisitiveness, garnished with the awe, is sustainable for the soul. To be a thought leader, you also must exercise your powers of observation. Pay attention to what you see and hear, even the background noise. Combine observation with inquiry, and you will be presented with a smorgasbord of delights with which to plan expeditions of discovery. And discovery and inquiry are actually two words on the school seal. Virginia Tech School of Medicine in Carilion became a thought leader in the national outbreak of fungal meningitis because, while putting our patients first, we realized we did not know anything about this disease. So let's learn something by standardizing as many variables as possible. The result was that the CDC adapted our protocols for the national protocols for the management of fungal meningitis, 2 peer-reviewed journals, a new diagnostic test, and better patient outcomes. Be prepared for the opportunities that will surely present. You cannot be a leader unless you give of yourself. Being a physician is not enough. Service to others is key to maintaining your undercurrent of joy as you come to realize that it is about the giving, not the receiving. Through service, not only do we give, we learn by putting ourselves in another's shoes. Importantly, we learn not to take ourselves too seriously. Many of the graduating class know exactly of what I speak as we work together in the Bradley Free Clinic. It was fun watching you come to these realizations. To be a thought leader, you have to take chances, study the risks, and go for it. You are here today because you took a chance on a new medical school and because you have brains. To paraphrase William Randolph, when you use your brains to think and you use your brains to have the nerve for the betterment of others, you will be deemed a radical by those content with stagnation. Wouldn't you rather be a radical than a couch potato stuck in a foul-smelling? Lastly, as a leader, you must be experiential. How can we ask others to do what we have not done or will not do ourselves? Is it not a form of hypocrisy to advise, wax eloquent, and call yourself an expert only if you have second-hand knowledge? Just do it. The example I leave you with is Ebola. How can an infectious disease physician be a thought leader in this disease if he or she has experienced it? To know the suffering of the patients, the fear in the population, and the utter angst in the healthcare providers. In this day and age, we should have been better prepared. We have military alliance training and defense in times of crisis, with an entire logistical system set to go from various strategically placed stockpiles. But all of our threats are not. Why do we not do similar for global health threats? With approximately 150 medical schools, schools of public health, and academic medical centers, Why aren't we training and building public health infrastructures around the world? It would also be to our benefit. Why can't we have a system where each academic medical center rotates 3 to 4 providers in times of crisis? It would have been a godsend to have 450 to 600 providers on the ground during the Ebola outbreak. And I'm not just speaking of infectious disease physicians. Just think if 150 orthopedics spent 1 week in post-earthquake Nepal. The hurdles, though, quickly erected by well-meaning but unknowing, non-experiential, knee-jerk stagnators, resulted in a loss for West Africa and the world. Be a thought leader instead. I thank Carilion and the School of Medicine for having the foresight to allow participation in the Ebola outbreak. So I will end with the exhortations. I exhort you to know yourself so that you may find joy in what you do. I exhort you to question. I exhort you to discover. I exhort you to be of service to others, and I exhort you to experience all that you can, and then some more. If I were to be alive at the end of your careers, I would want you to look me in the eye and take lyrics from a Jimmy Buffett song and metaphorically say, I ate the last mango in Paris. I took the last plane out of Saigon. I took the first fast boat to China. I woke up dry beneath the African sky, a Swiss Army knife. Tom, there's still so much more to be done. Good luck. Reflect well on yourselves, your family, your school, and above all, your patients. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kirkering. I'm honored to introduce a modern trailblazer, someone whose words will capture your attention, challenge you, and inspire you. Dr. Lewis Sullivan, our 2015 commencement speaker, is a renowned health policy leader, minority health advocate, physician, author, and educator. Dr. Sullivan's professional life has been committed to the service of others. For more than 4 decades, Dr. Sullivan's work has centered on eliminating health disparities, enhancing health literacy, advancing healthy behaviors, and diversifying the nation's health professions, both here and around the world. A native of Atlanta, Dr. Sullivan graduated from Morehouse College in 1954 and earned his medical degree from Boston University School of Medicine in 1958. After postgraduate training and faculty experience, Dr. Sullivan returned to Atlanta in 1975 and as the founding dean of the medical education program at Morehouse College, the nation's first predominantly black medical school, later renamed Morehouse School of Medicine. I suspect that I may be the only founding dean to introduce another founding dean as their 2015 commencement keynote speaker, and this is really special. Dr. Sullivan has served as chair of the President's Commission on Historically Black Colleges and Universities, co-chair of the President's Commission on HIV and AIDS, and secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services from 1989 to 93 in the George H.W. Bush administration. While secretary, he established the Office of Minority Health and the Women's Health Research Program at the National Institutes of Health. He now serves as chair of the Sullivan Alliance, a national nonprofit group devoted to diversifying health professions. Virginia Tech has been a part of the Virginia-Nebraska Alliance, a subgroup of the Sullivan Alliance, since 2004. As a 5-year-old, Lou announced to his mother that he wanted to be a doctor, despite limited educational opportunities in the segregated South. His contributions to the profession have been monumental, leading President George H.W. Bush to declare that, quote, "We are a healthier nation still today because of some of the issues Lou brought to the table with so much passion and determination. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Lewis Sullivan.
Dean Johnson, thank you very much for that very generous introduction. And to the members of the class of 2015, I offer you my heartfelt congratulations. Every time I participate in a commencement, it brings me back to my years when I graduated from medical school. And I'm sure the class here has had similar experiences that I had and my classmates. I've already heard when you entered here you were frightened, but put on a brave face. That we did in Boston in 1954. Many of you, I'm sure, felt that your classmates were awesome because they finished first in their various colleges and universities around the country, and you thought, well, in this group, how will I measure up? And clearly, you have done well. So I'm pleased to be here to celebrate with you your commencement. And it means because you now are completing the formal academic phase of your professional development and your career as health professionals. And as health professionals, you do have a responsibility and an opportunity and service to your fellow man. The health professions are indeed noble professions because we enter them because of our desire and ability to help others, to make the world a better place, to add value to the lives of others. So each is a leader. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what that means. First, leaders have a vision of what can be and of a new beginning. Secondly, they have the determination to work towards that new vision. Thirdly, leaders have a strong set of core values of integrity, a love of a respect for others, a sense of fairness, and indeed a belief in a better tomorrow. Leaders become leaders because of superior knowledge and skills in a discipline, but they go beyond their personal competence to become beacons of authority for others. Leaders attract others to work with them, others who want to join and are willing to join with them in their quest. Leaders have a willingness to share their skills. They see themselves as members of a team, and they build teams to work with them to accomplish noble goals. Leaders have an insatiable curiosity, the ability to grow, to recognize and adapt to a new reality, to recognize the talents and the skills of others, and how to weave that into a tapestry of a strong team. Leaders also have courage to go where no one has been before, to work to make the vision that they have come true. They have the courage to continue in the face of doubt, of skepticism, criticism, and even ridicule. But leaders also have focus. They are clear about their goals, and they're not distracted by peripheral or marginal issues. Leaders are determined. They're not deterred by roadblocks or setbacks. They work to find a way around them. They are persistent. They have perseverance, the ability and the will to continue against great resistance, the disbelief. They have team-building skills because to accomplish great things means the ability to collaborate, to join with others to accomplish great goals. Leaders also have a commitment to action. They give great thought to issues, and they acquire all of the information they can at the time. They plan well, and then they work to execute or implement the plan. They have the ability to take risks when the information is not complete. Seldom you have perfect, complete information, but it means judgment, indeed, to lead to action. Leaders also have the ability to communicate well to others their ideas, their vision, and the importance and the value of what they want to achieve. They also have the ability to motivate to work with them. Francis Bacon said, "Chance favors the prepared mind." In other words, when the opportunity presents itself, you should be prepared because of your knowledge and experience and your willingness to explore. Now, leadership in the 21st century means the ability to add value and significance not only to your life, but to the lives of others. It means having adaptable skills necessary to lead a group or an organization. It means knowing the community, knowing the organization, knowing the profession, knowing the people, knowing and working with the community. Above all, great leaders are honest, and they are individuals of integrity, whose word is their bond. Leaders have flexibility in making decisions, even in the absence of complete information. Now, an ideal team of leaders has mutual trust and respect for each other. They value the vision they have in their minds, and they have the skills to use to reach that vision. The right mix of values include people who are open to new ideas, who are skilled, confident, committed, and are able to work with others. So, class of 2015, as you begin your professional career of servant leadership, I urge you to commit to lifelong learning. Medicine and the other health professions are dynamic. 10 years from now, there will be a whole set of new ideas, of new knowledge, new technologies. So to be relevant 10, 20, 30 years from now means constant learning every day. So as you leave this place, let me join with others in congratulating you for your achievements today, but knowing this is the beginning of a life of servant leadership, a life of fulfillment in working for your fellow man. I salute you, and I'm optimistic for the future as I look upon all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sullivan. On September 2014, we lost someone very special to the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine. Carolyn Osborne was a member of our charter class. She was in her third-year clerkships when she became ill and had to put her education on hold. We are certain she was headed for a bright future as a thoughtful, compassionate physician. Carolyn was the kind of woman every mother wants as a daughter, every classmate wants as a friend, and every patient would want as a doctor. She received 2 letters of distinction during her clerkships. She had completed 5 out of 8 before she had to leave us to seek treatment. One of her clerkship mentors wrote, "Carolyn was the best student I've ever encountered, and functioning at the level of an intern." Another one wrote, Carolyn helped to raise the bar during her outpatient rotations. She always found something to learn from her patients, and she helped encourage others to learn. She acted as a role model in this regard. During the 19 months Carolyn spent in treatment, she kept in touch, and she reassured us she was coming back to finish her degree and see her dream of being a doctor fulfilled. Carolyn was a joyful, hardworking student who made a positive impact on our school. She is dearly missed and will never be forgotten. In fact, the graduating class seated before you has announced that the class of 2015 gift will be a donation to the Carolyn Osborne Memorial Scholarship. Today, her legacy continues in another dimension. Carolyn has fulfilled our stated criteria for conferral of a posthumous degree. Although saddened, I am honored to award the degree of Doctor of Medicine posthumously to Carolyn Kimball Osborne. We are honored to have Carolyn's family here, including her parents, Carl and Ellen. Accepting the diploma will be Carolyn's brother, Roland. Please come forward. Let's step in front so they can take the picture.
On behalf of my entire family, thank you. Thank you so much. From the very beginning, when we were inundated with love and support and more food than we could possibly eat, to the countless acts of kindness all along the way, we felt like we were being supported by a great big family here. This is no ordinary school, and you will not be ordinary doctors. Carolyn would say, "You all rock." So thank you.
When I set this agenda, I wasn't thinking clearly that I was going to be up after this. So we've heard from representatives of the student body, from the faculty, from our invited graduation speaker, celebrate the completion of a 4-year journey for our students. So this is what you're here to witness. Would the class of 2015 please rise? Dean Johnson, I have the high honor and presenting to you the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Medicine from the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine.
Upon the recommendation of the faculty and concurrence of the Board of Directors of the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree of Doctor of Medicine with all the rights, powers, and privileges pertaining thereunto.
Would the doctors please be seated? Ceremony's commencement for a reason. For graduation, as Dr. Sullivan reminded us, marks the end of one thing but the beginning of another. The 40 people before you are now set to begin their journey as physicians. And as we send them off, we want to introduce them to you. As each name is called, the members of the class will proceed to the front of the stage, where they will several of the The exterior of the hood is green velvet, the traditional color of medicine. The interior of the hood is blue and maroon, representing the colors of Carilion Clinic and Virginia Tech, which taken together are the official colors of VTCSOM. After the hooding, each student will then proceed to Dean Johnson, who will present them with their diplomas. You may take photographs of the hooding, but we ask that you not impede the view of the official photographer, who will be taking pictures of the graduates receiving their diplomas. Dean Johnson, I present to you the members of the class of 2015, recipients of the degree Doctor of Medicine from the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine. Dr. Kanwarpal Singh Bakshi. Dr. Joseph Samuel Bircher. Dr. Carly Danielle Blake. Dr. Gregory Stephen Blaufus. Dr. Karen Jean Bowers. Dr. Ross Oliver Carpenter. Dr. Aaron Kyle Cecil. Dr. Sunana Chatrath. Dr. Lily Rice Colpitz. Dr. Scott Everett Dart. Dr. Lindsay Michelle DeGeorge. Dr. Andrew Court Demert. Dr. Waldo James Ditmore IV. Dr. Megan Patricia Donahue. Dr. Joshua Douglas Eichenberg. Dr. Elizabeth Rose England. Dr. Jishan Ali Faridi. Dr. Elizabeth Ann Gilliam. Dr. Joanna Cam. Dr. Boris Maximovich Kizilev. Kumar. Dr. Rohini Sonia Mehta. Dr. Sohan Ram Nagrani. Dr. Jonathan Paul Nielsen. Dr. Ashley Nicole Parks. Dr. Daniel Scott Plessel. Dr. Elliot Stewart Pullman. Dr. Lauren Christine Poindexter. Dr. Amber Brittany Popes. Dr. David Patrick Riley. Dr. Andrew David Snyder. Dr. Erin Elizabeth Straight. Dr. Sanghi Su. Dr. Robert David Summey. Dr. Robert James Verapapa, Jr. Dr. Philip Ernst von Marschall. Dr. Shanika Thoranga Weracone. Dr. Alexander Scott Weller. Dr. Jacqueline Lee Wentworth. And Dr. Megan Delaney Whittam. Will the graduates from the class of 2015 please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated.
Now I would ask Dr. Taryn Schmidt-Dalton, VTC SOM Assistant Dean for Clinical Science, Years 1 and 2, to come forward. Dr. Schmidt-Dalton will lead our new graduates and physicians in attendance in the recitation of the Hippocratic.
Would all physicians in attendance, as well as our newest physicians to my left, stand and recite the oath, which can be found on the last page of your program. Okay. I swear to fulfill, to the best of my ability and judgment, and with the support and encouragement of others, this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those in whose steps I walk and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will apply for the benefit of my patients all measures appropriate, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and undertreatment. I will practice the art of medicine as well as science, remembering that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the use of scalpel or drug. I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed. I will remember that I do not care for a patient alone. Rather, I am part of an interprofessional team, all of whom offer their skills to assist with patient care and caring. I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me that the world may know. Most especially, I must tread with care in matters of life and death, recognizing this awesome responsibility must be faced with great humility and awareness of my own frailty. I will remember not treat data or disease, but a sick human being whose illness may affect family and economic stability. My responsibility is these related issues if I am to care adequately for my patient. I will prevent disease whenever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure. I will remember that I remain a member to society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings whose sound of mind and body, as well as the. If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected while I live and remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joy of serving those who seek my help. You may be seated.
Thank you, Colin. On behalf of all the physicians here today, I am very proud to formally welcome the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine's class of 2015 in our profession. Will the class stand one last time to be recognized? Thank you. Thank you again for coming this morning. Please join us for a reception immediately following at the Virginia Tech Carilion School of Medicine at 2 Riverside Circle. You will find 2 large marquees in front of the school, and I hope to see you there. Now will the ceremonial party and graduates please stand with me for the recessional.